We are live. Good morning, Elle here. I'm in Paris. No, I'm not. Someday, it's a dream of mine. I have never been to Paris, and was supposed to go in 2020. Didn't happen. So I have this beautiful poster that my sister-in-law, who owns a store, called and said, "We've got this big, it's 5 feet tall thing that came in," and so I went over and bought it, and it's just an inspiration for me. Um, Today, what I want to talk about on Trigger Tuesday are memories that trigger you. So, do you have some things in your past that, when they enter your head, cause you stress? I sure do. Memories of things you might be ashamed of, memories of things people said to you that unnerved you, situations that happened, events that happened to you. We all have a history, depending on how old you are, it could be a very lengthy history. And we all have a history of some events that were wonderful and built us, and you think about them and it brings a smile to your face. And then other memories that were not so good. I'll never forget coaching a young man at the Michigan Youth Challenge Academy. Michigan Youth Challenge Academy is an academy for young people who have been going through a lot and need some assistance in turning their lives around. And I had coached the therapist there. And a few months later, she called me because they had a young person who was really struggling, had a lot of anger, a lot of things going down. And the one on staff had really been able to get through, and she thought that maybe pressure-free could be helpful. So I took a big chance and a big risk, and they said, "Don't worry, we'll make sure that you're safe." So I decided, I said yes, I would meet with this young person and see if this could be helpful. And the two of us connected immediately. I knew that pressure-free could be of benefit, and we worked together for 5 months. It was some of the most impactful work I've ever done, because this person had a lot of traumatic memories and a lot of things that needed to be overcome, and we did the work together. One thing this person said, though, and by the way, I absolutely love it when I'm working with a client and they just come up with this great insight that then I can pass on to others. And this was the insight that this young man gave to me that I just absolutely loved. He said that everyone experiences childhood trauma. It doesn't matter if you're the rich girl who wanted a pony on Christmas and didn't get it. It just doesn't matter. Whatever the thing is, whatever it is, that's traumatic. I thought that was just so incredible that he came up with that insight, because he's right. Whatever has happened to you has happened to you, and people can judge it all they want, but it's how it feels to you that matters, and how it feels to you that decides what happens moving forward for yourself. So I want to just, memory basically is the trigger. So what is the memory for you? If you're taking notes, go ahead and write a couple things down, like a recurring memory or that comes up in your mind and instantly can prime you to go into fight or flight, can cause you to feel stressed, tension, unhappiness, anything like that. So when you've identified what those things are, I'm going to give you a couple tools. One, I want to go right to my starter tool, the pressure-free Ferris wheel. The reason why I want to go to this Ferris wheel idea is because it's a big motion. And when you make a big motion, so what you're doing is you're pretending there's a little Ferris wheel in front of your face and you're pushing it so that it spins. And the spinning is a metaphor for the energy of your life. You're giving yourself energy and life every time you do this. Secondly, every time you push the Ferris wheel or make a big motion, it allows your brain to retrain a habit. So if you have a habit of thinking of a memory and going into fight or flight, we need to interrupt that. Does that make sense? We need to interrupt you triggering stress hormones over remembering something. So a large motion like this Ferris wheel can help you do that. So make the large motion. It's very silly, so hopefully you'll smile, which is important. When you smile, you keep releasing dopamine in your brain. Dopamine is a very important neurotransmitter for your cortex and your hippocampus to continue working for you. So now you can think logically. So if you push this thing and you smile a little bit, plus push it again with me, just push your hands in the air, okay? Now bring them back down, but don't change your ribs. Bring them out down like this, all the way down. And you'll notice that you're in a taller posture. I gained a couple inches on the screen. If we were together, I'd probably see that you gained a couple of inches on the screen too. So now you're in a more open, strong posture, and that tells your brain that you're okay. We basically need to tell your brain that you're okay because this memory is very strong. And here's why. We could spend over an hour just on this one thing, okay? But a couple more minutes here. When you lodge a memory, a negative memory, like something not so good is happening to you, somebody said something to you, or you did something that you're ashamed of, whatever that is, when you lodge a memory and you're in the stress response, your hippocampus is not functioning correctly. So the memory lodges and it's rather corrupted, is the word that I use to describe what's going down. If you could go back in time and actually see the memory, see what happened, it's probably a little different, which is why if a couple of people get around and talk about a memory, everybody has a different perspective. If we could go inside and see whether or not they've triggered the stress response, we'd see why some of the differences are going on. So the memory doesn't land correctly. And then every time you bring it up and go into fight or flight, you expand on the memory. You can expand on the memory because we're in a brain where our imagination's running wild. So your imagination runs wild in fight or flight. You imagine all kinds of threats and crazy stuff going down when you're in fight or flight. So now you're taking that memory and making it even bigger and even crazier than it may have even been in the beginning. So it's really cool when you can start to break it. Big motion, it's the first thing. The second thing I want to add today is another tool to help break a memory trigger is a slogan, words. Okay, so you could either use slogan or flip the switch where you're using a question. So a slogan could be like, okay, stay up. There's no reason for me to trigger the stress response here. I'm just going to stay up and do my day because that happened 30 years ago, whatever the thing is. So stay up is a slogan. Just build some words that work for you. Question would be like this. How can I stay free of this? How can I let this go? How can I stay focused today? So you're changing the focus of what's going on in your mind. And by asking a question, your mind immediately wants to work on that. If you say something like this, how come I can't forget this? You're going to get all the reasons why you can't forget it. So ask a question that starts with how can I or what can I? For it's more than you, then how can we or what can we? So we're over our 8 minutes. I hope this was helpful this morning. Memory triggers can be real insidious. They can really dig in there and be with you for a long, long time. So see if you can start to break some of those. It will just give you more space in your day to be doing now, to be more in the present. You hear that all the time, you need to be more present, but how do we do it? Well, these are some tools to help you get there. So I hope you have a great pressure-free day. Bye.